Hello, this is Lauren, AfricanLife.eu, and today we have with us Easy B from Barbados. How are you doing today, Easy B?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's great. That's great. And how are you feeling about your performance that you'll be doing this evening?
Well, I'm ready and raring to go, as usual.
Yeah. Well, at the present moment, we're not actually able to feel the vibe from the audience, but I suppose we're anticipating that for later on. In terms of your career, Easy B, you've been based in Austria now for a while, and in terms of the music aspect around your career being in Austria, how has it been, and what future dynamics are you looking at building up with your presence, in the music industry in Austria and Middle Europe, and I'd say the rest of the world?
Okay, well, when I first came to Austria, I came in September to do a concert here in the Reigen, and I didn't know much about the reggae scene, and then I returned and I stayed here a while, and I was following up and everything, and there were little groups and patches of people here and there that were doing reggae, and there were the bands and so, and I just injected myself where I could into it, and I just brought what I was doing from in Barbados here, and I had a lot of contacts and so around Europe before I came here. So with that, I just came, saw, and I worked with whoever appreciated my music, saw my ability, and expressed uh, a wish to work with me. Yeah. So the reggae scene here, I see a hope in it, and I come to give my contribution to the reggae scene here. And I hope that by the end of it all, I will be remembered, my works will be appreciated more, and that sometime, someday, somehow, there will be a massive reggae scene in Austria. Because I see the hope, and there's promise there.
So it's you've come, like they say, you came, you saw, and you conquered. So
Yes.
you've come, you sing, and you're on this footpath to conquering,
Yeah, yeah, it's
this
true.
dimension of reggae that hasn't really been broken through, particularly in Austria. I've seen you perform on numerous occasions, and I just love your performances on stage. I mean, you've got this unique voice, and you're so easily distinguished amongst other artists. You are the reggae scene.
Yeah.
You're representing a very big part of reggae right here in Austria. What projects should we be looking forward to? Within in short term.
Well, hopefully, with some of the coming festivals and so on next year, you should see me on them. But at the moment, I'm recording as much as I can. I've been doing so over the past 2 to 3 years here and across Europe, Italy, England, Germany, just working as hard as I could, and hopefully, when I compile everything and I look at my songs and I pick the right ones, I should have a very solid album. I don't have a name for it as yet or anything, but I do have enough material, and I'm stockpiling more and more and more.
I'm actually interviewing you now, and I'm asking about the Easy B that I know, but I'd also personally like to know, as well as everybody else, the inspiration behind where you are right now. How did it actually start?
Yeah, well, honestly speaking, when I was in Barbados, because Barbados is a Christian society, and unlike Jamaica, the reggae was there, but it was more like let me say the vintage part of it. Let me say the Bobby Dobson and the John Holt and Jimmy Cliff, and so that music I was hearing as a young person growing up. But as I said, my country is a predominantly Christian society. So when I went into secondary school, and I started to hear about dance hall, and I watched my first, I think it was Champions in Action '88, first dancehall concert in Jamaica. I watched it on videotape, and I looked at it and I look at the artist performing, and I sat there and I said, well, I think this is what I want to be. And from there, I started to write songs and so, because I was very good at writing songs.
Yes.
And from there, I started to write dancehall songs, and I wrote a good few of them. And I wrote a few love songs and so also. But after I made the decision to try the Rastafari, then I pushed all the dancehall aside, and I started to sing more conscious music. Yeah, so I would say from about 97, 98 is when I made that transition personally and musically. And then about 99, I had my first hit single in Barbados. It was on a dancehall rhythm, and the song was called Hamidi Sickle. And it was mostly like a commentary about the music business and how, in a sense, it was like everybody kind of for themselves, like a kind of a crab in a barrel thing. And I didn't really like that at all, because I felt that everyone should come together. If they have talent and ability, everybody should come together. But it wasn't so. And it had me kind of upset. But instead of arguing, I put it into song, and I recorded that year, and the song was a hit that year. And from 99 to 2000 and onward, I just kept recording in Barbados as much as I could. The quality of the music wasn't, at least the reggae, wasn't that high yet, because Barbados is also a country that has a lot of soca and calypso influence. Is more calypso country too. So there weren't much producers or so musicians dealing with reggae music. So I made step by step and recorded. And as I went along, then the quality and the standards rose and rose and rose until it got to a point where I said, well, yes, here is good, is rising, but I need to branch out and to work with more people on the outside of Barbados. And me personally, I just went on the computer, and I started to reach out to as much people as possible across the world. I would send my music to them, and some people would say yes, they like it. Some people would say, well, and from there, yeah, like any producer that heard my music and I contacted him and he said, well, yes, he liked it, and he has a rhythm. He would like me to see if I can do something on it. And yeah, I put my head down, pen to paper, and I started to write. So then I just started to work with as much people as possible from far and wide. Far and wide.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. And in terms of your musical journey, I think as a musician, you've actually managed to, visit any and every part of the world. There are countries that you've been to, and countries that you aspire to actually visit. There's a saying about the Black diaspora and repatriation. What is your view on that?
Well, this is what I think. From a Barbadian point of view, we are descendants of the African people, and there is no denying that. Yes, we are the children of slaves.
Yeah.
We were brought to the Caribbean, and from generation to generation, we grow and we grow and we grow. We live and we learn, and I would say, yeah, the connection is always there, because even in the Caribbean now, when I compare it to places, states in Africa, tribes in Africa, I see a lot of similarities in my people and the African people. And history states that the most of the slaves that were brought to Barbados were from Ghana. A few other African states also, but mostly from Ghana. And the connection is there. And even though, as I say, my country is predominantly Christian, still beyond it, when you see past all that, you can see there's still a lot of African influence in terms of food, in terms of our behavior and everything. Even though colonialism swept and take over, And yeah, we must always respect Africa as the motherland, as the great continent, mother of civilization, teacher of a lot of other nations and races across the world, and know that a tree cannot grow unless it has roots. Simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it's always been. Everybody's looking back and saying, okay, it's all about repatriation. We've got to visit the motherland, Africa. But yet again, we're all rooted in different parts of the world, regardless of us being, from African heritage and so forth. And in terms of what it is you're doing now, you're constantly busy and in studio and busy with your new CD. Who is or who would you like to work with?
Yeah, well, honestly speaking, once again, I would like to work with just about anyone that has a passion, a great desire to connect and sing good music, because I strongly stand by good music.
Yeah.
Although I'm for reggae, I listen to a lot of other genres.
Yeah.
You know, pop, jazz, R&B, rap. I listen sometimes even gospel music. I listen to, because it's the message. And when somebody really sings a song with a lot of conviction and feeling, I can tell, because then it moves something in me.
Yeah.
So no matter what genre it is, when I feel it, I love it, and I listen to it. So yeah, I would like to work with some artists from out of Jamaica, but I'm not only focusing on Jamaica, because there's a lot more talent and there are a lot more artists out there with the desire and the ability to sing good music and produce good music and good messages, and I'm willing to work with just about anyone, man, woman, child, just about willing to work with anyone that has the same passion and desire as I have for the music.
Cool. What would your message be to all the artists out there who, aspire to be where you are right now? And, what would a message of inspiration be to actually drive them to actually fulfill and conquer the dreams that they have and set aside for this industry? Because it's a very tough industry to break through.
That is true. That is true. I would say, from my point of view, I would say persistence, perseverance, a lot of inspiration, creativity. Never let those things dwindle. Never let those things die out within you. And just keep on pushing, because I come from Barbados, and Barbados is not a reggae country, and it's very hard for a Barbadian to get on the world reggae scene, singing reggae and being noticed. I mean, we have like one of the biggest superstars in the world right now, which is Rihanna. But she does not sing. Yeah, she sings reggae, yeah, a little, but people mostly class her in, like, let me say, the R&B or the pop or so. I would say just keep on pushing, because that's what I did. I never gave up. There were times when there was a lot of disappointments and a lot of downfalls, and yeah, it did hurt. It did hurt at some points in time, but I never gave up. Even when I saw other artists were frustrated, and then you see that they give up and you wonder where they are and what they're doing, and you don't hear any more music from them. I never gave up. So to me, that's the key. The key is never to give up. Never. No point in time at all. Don't give up. Just keep on writing what you're experiencing. Keep on writing about what's out there. Keep on writing about what's affecting the people. And yeah, whenever you get the chance, just do it. Just be ready and prepared. As they say, practice makes perfect, so you have to practice as well. Never let your voice fade away. Never bury your talent. Just sharpen it and go there, go like a stepping razor. Just cut and clear.
Yeah, it's simply all about perseverance. One's got to persevere and just get through, all the tough stages and so forth. Easy B, we'd like to thank you for affording us your time and this interview, and we wish you all the best on, your future projects.
Yes.
And we're definitely looking forward, me being one of the fans,
Yes, thank you very much.
to
Thank
see
very
you
much.
on stage this evening.
Yes.
And yes, big up to all the work that you've done.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. And for all the people across the world, Austria, Vienna, that know of me and know of my music, continue to support me, continue to support all the other artists out there that are pushing and really giving it their all. And instead of trying to pull down someone, lift them up. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, we'll be having a featured profile on Easy B on African Life. So for more information on Easy B, please feel free to visit africanlife.eu. Big up. Peace out.